Hey, yo, what's going on with it once again? Bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters, the one and only, of course, Mr. Nintendo 732111, aka Christian Guy 2009. Of course, you guys in wrestling intro before we begin. Definitely check out freenumber.com. And of course, from the studios on that. If any people want fresh channel banners, I know pictures specifically made for you before we begin. Definitely check out, again, with Free Network. I will post their link to their their YouTube channel, of course, their official website channel in the description box below. And also just Google them, best partners we're out, all that stuff. And without further ado, let me get my drink on real quick. Let's get it started. Okay, let's not get it started. There we go. So, I wanted to make a small little, I know these types of formats of videos really don't exist anymore, but in my opinion, I feel like they kind of do. But I had to put my 2 cents in a video I did watch yesterday. I had to watch it again today just to make sure I remember a couple things every now and then. But this dude right here, I talked about him like good maybe once or 2 times, 1 or 2 times at the most. If any of you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I did talk about him about like a year or 2 ago. His name is Splendid. I remember that was his original name before it became, some of you people may or may not know, ArwingAron64's. So, man, oh man. And it was pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. The stuff and the material he came up with was so good. I mean, he knows how to do a lot more better editings, and he knows how to mess around with Sony Vegas and Adobe Premiere. Unfortunately, not like I do. I don't, because I have no idea how to mess with any of those programs because I don't own any of those. But whenever the day comes that I do start editing, you bet your ass it's going to be a lot more bigger, better, and the quality is going to be a lot more badass. And I won't just have a smartphone camera to record on my tablet or my crappy ass, excuse my French, shitty little live camera, the Microsoft Live Cam, aka my PC camera. No, I'll have something a lot more high tech like Sony or Canon or hell, even Kodak or something like that. Something that doesn't have to do with like a smartphone and getting a distraction or text once in a while. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Until then, this is what I got to work with, and due to a couple financial things I've been going on with for the past couple months, unfortunately. Sometimes they come, sometimes they go. It's gotten, unfortunately, a little bit worse, but I'm hoping it gets better. Let's just put it at that. And I will be able to upgrade my equipment a little bit more, but until then, I gotta leave it as it is, unfortunately. I gotta go with what I work with, Anyways, yeah, money sometimes is an issue for me. Not gonna get too deep into that because that's extremely personal. Let's just say sometimes it's an issue for me. But other than that, yeah, this guy, he started talking about Generation 1, like what a lot of the negativity that like a lot of people that grew up as a 90s kid, of course, like myself, I've pretty much said in countless, like hundreds, maybe even thousands at this point, of videos of how I pretty much worship the ground that the 90s were like, I mean, obviously at that time, only 3 years actually, in 4 years. I remember the 90s was 96, 97, 98, 99. I don't remember anything before that because obviously I was a baby. Or not even a baby, I was a champ. Because I think usually it's 1 to 4 when you're a baby, and when it's like 5 through 7, 8, you're kind of in your champ years, and then when you're 8 through like 13, you're in your kid years, and of course 13 through 19. I really feel it's 19 instead of 18, you should be adult, but whatever. That's the way the United States is, It's how it is with the rules and regulations of how old you should be when you become an adult. It is what it is, Like when you know what right from wrong, obviously. There's that, and then of course when you're 20 to 30, you're young, and then of course you go further on, 30 through 50, possibly 60, you're just an average adult, old adult, and then 60 through pretty much 90, or if you're lucky enough, you live through 100, or to 100, not through, because you'd be way older than you are. It's the senior citizen age, and then you die. But I know that was completely pointless. I went completely out of freaking left field there, so apologies, guys. Let's get back on the topic. So, what he said about Gen 1ers. The thing is, I can agree with them on certain levels. There was certain things that made like Gen 1ers a little bit genuine. I mean, hell, I could have been Gen 1er myself, but like I said in my previous video yesterday, if any people didn't see it, on both of my parts, part 1 and part 2, the top 10 shiny Pokemon I've received in Wonder Trades. If any people haven't seen that, I'll put that in the links in the description below, or I may put it in the annotation. I doubt it. It'll probably be in the beginning of the video. If you haven't seen it already, you might have clicked on it by now. Who knows? Yeah, people. the stuff that he said in that video, I could pretty much relate to, because he is in the same age group as I am as far as being a '90s kid was back in the day, up to kids nowadays, like the millennials, as I like to call them, because I think the millennials, I think I did a little bit of research. I'm not gonna try to go off topic again. I might do a second part of this video if this video is way too long, so just keep that in mind. The thing is, it's just so crazy, like to think with the millennials. I think they're from like, I don't know if they're born from 1990 or 1995 up to like 2005 or 2010, I think. So if any of the millennials are from 95 to 2010, they're either, let's see, they're around the ages between, I think 16 or 17 at least, yeah. Let's say 17. They're like from 17 to like 5 years old, so they're still really little ass kids and teenagers. So still got a long ways to go before they catch up with my age. By the time they're my age, I'm gonna be like 37, 30. I'm gonna be old as hell. Oh man, it sucks ass to get old, but it's a part of life. You have to go through it. You can't really stop it, unless you're God, of course, which I know most of us aren't. Anyways, let's see. What else can I say about this dude? I mean, I already talked about him before on my channel, so I'm not gonna waste too much of my time, my breath on him. I'm not saying he's a bad guy or anything. He's a chill dude. Don't get me wrong, but there's a few times where he gets a little trollish every now and then. But he does it in a funny, comedic, slapstick, knee slapping comedy in a way, But excluding all that stuff I just said, let me just talk about what he talked about. He made very, very good points. For example, he was talking about back in the day, you really had to bust your ass to get all 151 Pokemon. Especially Mew. Oh my god, it was a pain in the ass to get that thing. The only ways you could get it, pretty much, you had to cheat or glitch your way through the game. Whether it was legitly or if you had the game chart or the genies at that time, like, forgot what it was. It was either Game Shark or Arpexes or something. I don't know what the old school gaming was, like Mad Catz cheating, like devices that you had to use. I know nowadays, you younger kids nowadays, the younger generation I'm speaking to, the one like that's probably gonna take over after I die. You guys have the power savers. You're familiar with the power savers and the ROM hacks and all those things. But back in my day, and I know I sound like I'm freaking 80, 90 years old when I say that. I'm like 26, but still. But back in the days, or in my days, more particularly in my days as a 90s kid, you literally, that's the only two ways you'd be able to get all 151 Pokemon. It's either A, you trade them all legitly. B, actually there's 3 ways. A, you trade them all legitly. B, you glitch your way through like every single Pokemon. You could try to like, hack into certain things. If you were a professional old school computer hacker, you'd probably be able to do that. But if you didn't have any of those skills, you're pretty much screwed. Of completing the Pokedex, of course, and the whole game in its pretty much entirety. There's that. And then the third thing you would have to do if you want to get every single Pokemon is that you'd have to literally use a Game Shark. If you didn't have any of those skills or have any of those kind of devices at that time, you weren't going to complete the Pokedex. And obviously you actually had to have real life, actual friends. And I know this is kind of a little bit of a foreign concept to a lot of younger people nowadays, because most of the younger people nowadays are not even antisocial anymore. In a way, some of them there still are, but a lot of them have their friends through either, if it's a lot of these social media networks, especially live streaming networks like livestream.com, vimeo.com, Google Plus, Google Hangouts, and Google Plus and Google Hangouts. Stuff that used to be around when I was like a teenager at that time, once the 2000s started rolling up, early, mid-late 2000s, which was those Vlog TV, Stickcam. If any of you guys remember that, if you were in my age group, you remember what Vlog TV and Stickcam was before, unfortunately, it got shut down. I think it was 2011, 2012 when Vlog TV got shut down, and I think 2014 or a year or two ago when Stickcam and getting shut down. Or it might have been 2012, so it might 2-3 years back. So not too long ago, but at the same time, rest in peace to those things, because I used to love, literally enjoy, before I started making YouTube videos, I used to go on there almost every single day. Back when I was still in high school and college and stuff, I used to chat with random people. Like, the only other concept a lot of you people probably know now, whether you're young or old, because I think it was like 07 or 08, so I was like junior, senior of high school when this came out. Most of you people may or may not be familiar with this site. It's called Omegle. I'm not going to get too much into that website because some of the stuff that happens there, it's funny, it's genuine, it's pretty much kid-friendly, but the other stuff, I'm trying to keep this PG rated as I can. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happens on that site. I'm not gonna lie. And some of it's way too not grotesque, I don't want to say. Some of it is very extremely mature adult rated stuff. I'm not going to get into because it's extremely sick, and it's probably going to involve me using a lot of profanity, and I really don't want to do that. And especially for my younger viewers out there that have parents, and I don't want to be the one to blame, say, why are you watching this grown adult use profanity? And then like one of my younger subscribers gets slapped across the freaking like head or whatever. Don't watch that guy. Click on some other thing. Get off the computer. You're in trouble. You're grounded for a week or a month, mister. And trust me, kids, I've been in that situation. When I was little, of course, I didn't have internet at that time. I pretty much grew up without internet until I was like middle school and high school. I think 2002, 2003, around that time. I think it was around 2002. And after that, 2002 to 2008, because when I was like 19, I finally moved the fuck out of my parents' house, and I never had to listen to them again. I mean, I'll still occasionally visit them every once in a while, but I'm not buddies with them like I used to be when I was like still a kid, you know, and I still couldn't like legally move on my own. Yeah, I'm not gonna get too much into that, but I knew how it was. Trust me, parents are a pain in the ass sometimes, but when you get older and you get your own place, you have your own job, your own car, your own house, your own money, you will be set to go, and you'll never have to see your a-hole parents ever again, and you can do whatever the hell you want. But until then, fortunately, you do have to listen to them. So, and now I'm going way off topic again. The fourth time! Bravo, right? Anyways, no, on a real serious note, yeah, he's ArwingAron. Let me get back to this freaking topic before I keep, like, losing it. I'm going to try to wrap this video up as quick as I can. It's probably been over 10 minutes. Thank you very much if you're still here listening to me not rant, but respond to this dude, because he's awesome himself. Check him out. ArwingAron64. I already gave him a shout out before. Shout out to him again for making this video, because I feel like this was a very well needed video that had to be made. And I'm glad this dude did it too. I should have did this like years ago. Literally. Back in 07, 08 when I started making YouTube videos back in the day, like 6-7 years back then. And the concept has changed a lot. I'm not gonna lie, ladies and gentlemen. It definitely and totally has. But next thing I want to say, yeah, he talked a lot about like you had to have a lot of real life friends to do this. You had to have people, either you bought both of the games or you bought one of each and your friend got the other one, and then you trade every single Pokemon until you instantaneously, obviously, fill up the Pokedex. And that's how you did it legitly. And back then it was very hard as hell to do, because the game charge for its time was like $50, $100 freaking damn dollars. Whether it was for SNES, PS1, PS2, N64, GameCube, or the original Xbox. Those were the ones that game charge used for, because after like 360, PS3, and Wii, and then of course the future ones, which is probably going to be the future of Nintendo, like DNet, Nintendo NX, if that ever becomes a real official console. Hoping it does. Xbox One, obviously nowadays, that, and PS4, which just came out last year. This is the thing, it's crazy as hell to believe that technology has evolved so fast to the point where we're able to talk to each other like through the screens, even though you got Google Hangouts, you got Twitch, you got other places like Daily Motion stuff, where you can do live streaming services and stuff. Pretty much any website that does live streaming services. That's ridiculous, because I'm not trying to get all top again. You would have said you would have told somebody this back in the early, at least mid 2000s, probably before 2004, maybe at least at the earliest. You would have said, oh dude, we're going to be able to talk to each other on smartphones. We're going to be able to Skype each other. We're going to be able to do this. We're going to be able to do that. We're going to be able to like use iPhone watches to like have everything touchified. And pretty soon they're already having cars that are like scanning people's eyes in order for the car to work. That's scary stuff, but at the same time, you gotta admit, it's pretty cool. There is going to be a point where it starts becoming creepy, but until then, it is pretty damn cool. They probably would have slapped me in the freaking face. Like, are you crazy? You smoking weed or marijuana or something? They probably would have been the first thing. Are you on drugs? Are you drunk? You know. But no, here we are, like fast forward, like 11 years later, this stuff is slowly happening, and it's just keep getting faster and faster and faster until the point, as humanity, as humans, we're not going to be able to follow anymore. And now I'm going way off topic to like Armageddon apocalypse stuff. I really got to shut the F up on that. That's something I really talk a lot more on my criticism guide channel, not here. I try to keep it more entertainment friendly here. Or anything that has to do with entertainment, a lot of stuff in general that makes me happy. Or maybe you happy, I don't Yeah, and then ArwingAron, he actually talked about a couple other things I really want to get into before I quit this, not quit this channel, before I quit this video real quick, before I finish this, wrap this video up. He talked about two other things that really, literally, it reminisced with me, resonated with me very, very, on a very emotional level. Number one, on how, like, you had to beat the crap out of the Elite Four. First, you had to get, obviously, the starters, then you beat all the trainers, then you beat typical Pokemon games, especially with Red, Blue, and Yellow, and Green at that time. You know, Green was only released in Japan back in those days. So the United States, we in the West, and maybe in Canada, Mexico, and everywhere else around the world probably didn't get it. It was just Japan, I think, that got that. So you had to beat all, get your starter Pokemon. There we go. Beat all the trainers in the region. After that, you ended up defeating all the gym leaders. You got all the Pokemon, and if you were lucky to get all the Pokemon, you were lucky enough. Of course, you had to, before you did that, you had to beat the Elite Four. And you got to beat Lance, and then you got to beat Gary effing Oak, aka Red, Blue, and Green, in the other games. He wasn't Gary. After that, then he goes to Cerulean K to catch Mewtwo, and if you had a game chart, if you were lucky enough, or if you went to a Japan live action event to the Pokemon Center back in those days, you were able to get Mew, and then you get 151, boom, and that's it. Everyone thought it was gonna be over until Gen 2, and eventually, years later, Gen 3, Gen 4, Gen 5, and up to now, at this current time, as I'm making this video, Generation 6, which is the current, last generation that was made, as I'm making this video in this point in time, we might have Generation 1 or 200 by the time you're watching this, who knows? That'd be crazy as heck. I would seriously doubt if the Pokemon Generation franchise actually lasts that long, but seeing how much its successors have been extremely popularized, especially in mainstream media culture, it wouldn't surprise me if we have 1 or 200 generations in the future. I'd be crazy. Of course, I'm going to be dead by then. I'm not going to be alive anymore, so I'll probably be looking at heaven or hell or something in some crystal ball in a different dimension. They're generation 1 and 200. Not bad. I remember when I was alive on Earth, how much I enjoyed Pokemon. It depends if people believe in an afterlife. I, myself, personally, I do believe in that. If you're an atheist, you probably don't believe in anything after this. I'm not hating on you if you are, but if you were originally a Christian like I was, or a backslidden one like I was, you know what an afterlife is. Or if you're a modernized, active Christian, you never know. Not gonna get into religion though. And then the last two things I already talked about. That resonated with me, and another thing that really resonated with me. My freaking God. The thing that he didn't talk about is the Safari Zone. He should have talked about how hard and difficult as hell it was to get Kangaskhan, Chansey, and Scyther, and Pinsir. Those things were pains in the ass to get. You literally had to use over 1,000 freaking Safari Balls by the time you even got one. And the random number generator in the old school cartridge game is probably the decision if you're going to catch this Chansey, Pinsir, Kangaskhan, or Scyther, whether you want it or not. Hopefully you did. It was hard as hell. Like I said, Game Shark was your friend back then. It really was. And if you knew where to get it, because there was very few places where they sold those. You either had to get them from black market, flea market, or somewhere else. And, oh yeah, another thing he really resonated with me with, that wasn't it, but it was something else. He really, really went deep into the other thing I've hyped. It's funny as heck how he really went into this concept of how a lot of the Pokemon back in those days, I remember back in my days, I did this and I did that, and what's it called? He doesn't want to make himself sound old. I remember he said that, and then he said something about how they had to bust their butts and try to get something. How nowadays, even even though a lot of newer Pokemon games, especially Generation 5 and 6, have better graphics, better storylines, all that crazy stuff, literally within that matter. They're a lot more amazing. They're a lot more badass. They're a lot more amazing. The story concept, the way the stuff is, it's crazy. I don't know why people are slamming their doors, but yeah. I don't know if you guys heard that. Hopefully you didn't. But anyways, that's all I really had to say for now. Shout out to ArwingAron once again for making this video. This video, I feel like it officially really had to be made. And I'm glad he's the one that put it out there. There was another dude that did kind of the same video concept about Gen 1ers. There's probably thousands of other people that have talked about Gen 1ers, but the thing is, I haven't heard nobody talk about it as amazing, sophisticated, and funny as heck how ArwingAron's talked about it. He's a real funny dude. you should definitely check him out. And actually, fun fact, I think he's a real life friend of PM Ramps too. If any people don't know who he is, he's got like 200 something thousand subs, so he's pretty damn big compared to him. And like I was just saying, people put the link in the description box below if any people want to see it. I'm going to be doing like 2 little vlog rants on the outside before I end up moving out to the new spot out here in 702. It's going to be more further up north, so I'm going to have to unfortunately get transferred to new work. So that starts Monday. So if you don't see me Monday and my schedule of work ends up changing, you know why I didn't post videos Monday. But if you do see one, it's probably going to be a real old video I did last week. I don't know. It might be pre-recorded by then. Peace out once again, bros, women, bronies, and pegasisters. I will see you when I see you guys. Have a good day, have a good night, wherever around the world. Don't drink smoke weed at the same time. Don't take the reckless. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it elective out there. And until then, next guys, peace out. Stay tuned, more videos coming soon. Brand new videos on this channel almost every single day. With that said, I am out. I will see you guys soon. You guys take it easy, stay on the grind, stay healthy, all that good stuff. Keep it calm, keep it cool, keep it chill, keep it elective. I just said that. Be easy, be you, do yourself. That's what I meant to say. And see you guys around. My like sauerkraut. Stay tuned, more videos coming soon. Hopefully my hair didn't look too messy. Oh, and one more thing. If you see that background again next time, it's going to be completely empty because a lot of my stuff is definitely going to be way more in boxes than it was before. I already got half of my stuff in packages right now. So if you're wondering, oh, why is all this stuff missing? You'll know why. Because I think it's Wednesday or next week Friday, or by the end of this month. If it's not the second to the last week of this month, then it's just going to be the end of this month. You'll see everything completely empty. Who knows? Take it easy and goodbye. Peace.